Well, it's different, the ritual pre-match introduction that Arsenal go through. They're at Upton Park this afternoon, playing a West Ham team who won for the first time since the opening day last weekend. Can they follow up here? Well, we are interactive this afternoon. Sky Digital viewers, if you wish to enjoy that facility, push the red button on the remote control, follow the instructions, and that's where you will find that menu page. It's a Super Sunday, starting at Upton Park. Remember, later, it's White Hart Lane for Spurs and Chelsea. Right now, let's join our match commentators, Alan Smith and Rob Hawthorne.
And Bobby Zamora of West Ham, 1 goal short of a century of league goals. One of the highlights of that goal-scoring record, the one he got when West Ham became the last team to win at Highbury in February. This is the 99th league meeting of these two London clubs, and it's the first since that February meeting at Highbury when West Ham won 3-2. An awful night for Sol Campbell. His Arsenal career never really recovered after that. But for the current Arsenal, this is Alexander Hleb. Now, Danny Gavidon for West Ham to Paul Konchesky. Backed by Mullins. And here's Anton Ferdinand. Here's Gavidon. Yossi Benayoun. Clichy certainly wasn't hanging around with that challenge. West Ham have tried to set themselves out to be difficult to break down for an Arsenal team who were frustrated by their missed opportunities in the week. Can they frustrate them again here? Here's Konchesky. Now Mullins. Konchesky looking for Zamora. Here's Bowyer. Now Mullins squeezes it out to Benayoun. Clichy couldn't get to him in time. That was Rio Coca.
That's the challenge, isn't it, for West Ham, with Bobby Zamora playing up front on his own. How do we support the striker? How do we make sure the ball doesn't keep coming back? Lee Bowyer's the man, and Rio Coca, I think, as well, already made a couple of runs to join Zamora.
Here's Gallas. Now Clichy, who's put in a couple of competitive challenges already by Yossi Benayoun, and this is his first Premiership start of the season. Clichy. Gallas invited the challenge of Zamora. Layoff by Rosicki. Clichy. Now Gallas. Konchesky facing into the sun, still got the header away to Etherington, and now Bowyer. Gilberto won it back. Van Persie was there. This is Henry. Foul given for the challenge on Henry. Does even Henry maybe think that it wasn't a foul?
Well, possibly so. The first time really that they've got men forward in possession. I don't think there was much there really. Mullins couldn't stop himself. He'd already played the ball to Thierry Henry.
Certainly from his reaction it looked as though even the Arsenal striker was telling the referee he got that one wrong, but he's not going to pass up the opportunity from this free kick. He and Van Persie both in attendance. And it is Henry, and it comes back off the wall to him. And Rio Coca has now taken it away. And West Ham can mount their first real charge. Well, he looked to Etherington when he had Bowyer and Zamora out to his right. Etherington's done well to make the most of that. And Mullins lost out, and is fortunate that he's won a free kick.
And that's where they've got to be nice and clinical, because Arsenal get back so quickly, as they proved there. The yellow shirts swarming back around the ball.
asking the referee if they've got to wait for the whistle or not. Kleb waits on the end of the wall.
Oh, it's a similar distance to Thierry Henry's.
Well, it was an attempt that was on target, but wasn't going to trouble Lehmann too much from Danny Gabidon. Here's Toure. Now Gallas. Gilberto, Fabregas, lovely touch to Rosicky. Here's Claire. Hoyt up on the outside of him. Fabregas stepped over it and Anton Ferdinand clears. This is Rio Coca. Now Etherington. It's Konchesky. Arsenal get back so quickly when forced to defend.
It's got a good feel to it though, hasn't it, this game? Only in the early stages, but already there's enough there to suggest we might have some excitement here this afternoon.
Here's Rio Coca. Zamora's touch. Benayoun. It's Jonathan Spector has made the run in behind Clichy, and he's won a corner.
He did ever so well, Yossi Benayoun, to time that through ball. Released the pass when Spector was in position to get onto it. Did really well, Clichy, to make up the ground.
Etherington playing short to Benayoun. It's Matthew Etherington, and it's almost steered in. Brave dive at it from Zamora, and he just couldn't get the touch.
Well, they get caught on a 2 against 1 here from this corner, and that's what causes problems. Yeah, Anton Ferdinand ducks, and how close is Bobby Zamora to that?
Well, he showed plenty of desire to get on the end of it, Zamora. But it got a nick on its way through that effort from Etherington, and Benayoun takes the follow-up corner. It's not clear towards Konchesky. He's done well to get it back in. It just hit the hand of Hayden Mullins, though, and Toure doesn't know it. Free kick. Busy start for Rob Stiles.
Yeah, I'll certainly give them home side plenty of confidence, though. Looking at the early stages and thinking, well, make sure we don't do anything silly and we don't face the kind of situation that Reading faced a couple of weeks back, where already you're a goal down and you're chasing. And they've looked dangerous going forward. West Ham.
There's Kolo Toure. Now Hoyt. Here's Gilberto. Kleb. Fabregas. There's Mullins' challenge. Well, West Ham have made just the sort of bright start they wanted to build on last week's result. A result that ended what seemed like being a never-ending sequence as the pressure started to build here. Here's Clichy. Header clear by Anton Ferdinand. This is Rosicky. Now Kleb. Boya dived in, won the ball. Rio Coca. Not the ball Benayoun needed. Clichy was in the way. Flag up.
Well, it's obvious already. The one thing West Ham aren't going to do this afternoon is show their opponents too much respect. They get in nice and tight. There's a challenge whenever an Arsenal player receives the ball.
Here's Konchesky. Now Boya. There's tight for Benayoun. Here's Gallas. Now Toure. Hoyt. Fabregas in a spot of bother. Gabidon. Now Konchesky. Zamora. Run back by Fabregas. This is Hleb. Now Rosicky. Needed support and Henry had stayed behind. Hleb, now Fabregas. Henry. Here's Gilberto. Clichy. Fabregas has forced it through to Van Persie. Spector and Benayoun converged on him, and then Benayoun went down. Caught in the face, was he, by Robin Van Persie?
No, I think he was. It certainly looked accidental. He surrounded Van Persie when he took it. Got a few passes together there, Arsenal. Actually grabbed him round the throat more than anything, hasn't he?
Here's Spector. Back by Mullins to Anton Ferdinand. Aidan Mullins to Bowyer. Rio Coker too much to do. Rio Coker here working hard against Fabregas. The decision goes against him though.
And they got away with that. Cesc Fabregas dwelling on the ball, just couldn't quite sort the ball out in between his feet. Not often that happens.
Rosicky. Now Van Persie. Rosicky.
And a big role for Benayoun today up against Robin Van Persie. He knows defensively he's got to do his job. I know how good he is on the front foot.
Rosicky. Clichy. Headed back by Bowyer. Now Gilberto. This is Fabregas. Hoyt. Hleb. Fabregas. Hleb looking for Thierry Henry. Van Persie's hit. It's a good stop.
That's what they're capable of, just exploding into life. Hleb looked up, it's a beautiful ball for Henry pulling away. And on Van Persie's left peg, you never know where that's going to end up. Doesn't quite catch it as he would like, as he has done this season so far, as we've seen. Spectacular effect.
Well, in double figures already, Van Persie, if you take into account the goals he scored for Holland. He's played this corner short to Rosicky. Great ball across.
He's been involved more in the air, hasn't he, this season? He's got a few goals with his head. Also seems to be just keeping his position, holding his position centrally a little bit more than he has in previous years. When Van Persie's out on that left-hand side, it prevents him at times from drifting into those areas that he likes to do. Thierry Henry just gives Arsenal more of a target sometimes.
Claire. Konchesky. Now Hoyt. This is Toure. Gallas. Misunderstanding.
Well, they're just making sure they're nice and compact, West Ham, and Arsenal find themselves facing a problem that they're not used to this season. 10 players to beat. It's
Gallas. Now Toure. Henry showing for the ball that Ferdinand has to deal with and does deal with. Zamora. Here's Hoyt. Now Gallas. This is Clichy. Stars in Rosicki's way, but he still makes the most of it. Now Kleb. Fabregas. Kleb. Gilberto. Well, it was only the finish that was lacking as Arsenal then were really getting into their stride.
Well, this just shows you what West Ham are faced with. Players running off the ball. Kleb keeps his width there, makes life a little bit awkward for Paul Konchesky because of that. But if they can restrict Arsenal to those kind of shots from that distance, they'll be fairly pleased. Not known for his goal scoring, Gilberto.
The only one he scored in the Premiership this season was Arsenal's opening goal at the Emirates Stadium. Helped them to avoid defeat against Aston Villa. Here's Clichy. It's Van Persie's touch. Now Rosicki. Clichy has stayed forward here. Tried to pull it back for Fabregas. Ferdinand in the way. Van Persie. Spectre clears. Clichy.
Just sense Arsenal turning up the heat a touch, getting into the stride.
Gilberto. Kleb. Henry. Fabregas. Now Kleb. Rosicki, good strike!
I think out of all those midfielders, Thomas Rosicki is the one that will pull the trigger. Probably that will be his first thought in these kind of areas. We've seen him do it so often already this season. He's got a really good shot on him. Gives something different to that midfield four.
And probably better from that sort of range than he is from 5 yards, judging by the other night. When he admits it was the worst miss of his career.
We've all missed them. I've been closer than that sometimes.
There's Spectre's challenge. And he left a mark there on Van Persie that certainly the referee didn't like. And it's a yellow card.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's gone to ground, he's dived in. Studs perhaps showing. It was a clever little flick from Van Persie. He didn't get the ball, Spectre. Not enough of it, that's for certain.
Well, Arsene Wenger sometimes feels his players don't get the protection from referees that they should. The manager wasn't very happy about that challenge at all.
He certainly caught Van Persie, no doubt about that. As I say, when you do go to ground with studs showing, you've got to be spot on and get that ball. If you don't, you're asking for trouble.
Well, Spector has been given his due punishment for the challenge.
Well, that's not what you want, is it, on a yellow card after 20 minutes? Then all of a sudden you find yourself just walking that tightrope, being called into a few challenges, and you've got to be extra careful.
Because he's named today, Alan Pardew, a very positive bench, isn't he? Apart from George McCartney and a goalkeeper, he's then got 3 forwards among his substitutes today, if he does want to change his options.
I think that's just a reflection of the team he's set out, hasn't he, with just the one striker.
Henry's kick. Gallas was the player coming in round the back, but it was well dealt with by Robert Green.
Yeah, if he finds himself chasing the game, he has got plenty of options, Alan Pardew. But he won't be displeased, I don't think. I know he's going to... He would accept that Arsenal had most of the possession for large parts of this game. But they've stayed pretty solid. It's all about offering an attacking threat now for West Ham.
Well, still Robin van Persie is off, so Arsenal at the moment more concerned about the possibility of an imminent substitution, although it looks as though Van Persie is going to be ready to come back on shortly. He is back on. So Thierry Henry, who temporarily dropped into this role on the left side, now moves back up front. Here's Anton Ferdinand. Samora's header. Etherington. Konchesky. Here's Bowyer. Spector up on the right. And was there a little bit of revenge on Van Persie's mind as he came in for that challenge? Won it fairly enough.
Yeah, it did, I think. There's a bit of extra bite in that challenge. Just come on the pitch. He isn't going to let Spector skip away from him.
Terrible kick from Lehmann. And here's Benayoun with 3 over to his left. It's Zamora. It's Spector. Great ball in, and Benayoun can't finish. And Lehmann is the most relieved man on the pitch that he couldn't.
Well, I think he's just changed his mind at the last minute here. He was going to launch it upfield. And he just decided on a short one to William Gallas, but he gets it horribly wrong, and they do get away with this. And he starts the move, Benayoun, gets into the box. And when the cross comes, just gets too much on the header. Needs more of a deft flick.
Here's Clichy. Rosicki, neatly away from Bowyer. Ferdinand. Konchesky, oh, that's sloppy. Kleb. Henry. Etherington away. Now Rio Coker's given it away. Gilberto. Kleb. And it's Henry. And he couldn't take it in his stride.
Good opportunity that as well, wasn't it? If he could have just dragged it into his path. Nothing wrong with the pass.
Here's Van Persie. Clichy, nothing on in the middle for him really. Spector's underneath it. Pressure being applied by Fabregas. Ferdinand clear. Here's Henry. Gilberto. And now Hoyt. Kleb. Gilberto. Oh, he's given it away. Gallas. Toure. Rosicki. It's Clichy. Gabidon underneath it. Rosicki's first onto it though. Here's Fleb. Away by Mullins.
Oh, one or two signs of wear and tear at times in that West Ham rearguard. What they do to Arsenal is your decision making has to be that little bit quicker with the tempo that they play at. If you get it wrong and give the ball away, they can be in trouble.
Here's Fleb. Gallas. Clichy. Henry. Taking on Ferdinand. He got on a real sprint there, and then Green was very quick. Too quick for his own good then, Henry.
Yeah, they won't want to. It was open the gates job, wasn't it? But they won't want to see that happening too much.
Now Etherington is set away. Really is very finely poised at the moment. Etherington. Played it against Hoyt for the corner.
I think these are the instances where they just fancy themselves to maybe get an opening. They work that short one earlier on, 2 against 1, caused a problem. There are plenty of players who can compete well in the air.
Benayoun goes short to Konchesky this time. Etherington, Benayoun, they've overdone it. Fleb. Gilberto. Offside, Robin van Persie.
It's a close one, this. He's looking across the line, Van Persie. He's onside. If you look at the cut of the grass, he's well onside. Ferdinand over on the far side.
Bowyer. Hoyt charged across in front of Etherington. It's back by Konchesky. Rio Coca. Etherington. Fabregas. Here's Fleb. Fabregas. Henry, lovely touch. Rosicki! Same old problem for Arsenal. Good opportunities, not taking them.
Well, you'd have put your money on him to hit the target at least here. Another sweeping move. Look at that for a little layoff from Thierry Henry, right into Rosicki's path, and he does. He snatches at it a little bit. He's got enough time to weigh up his options. It's not a good effort.
One where you would have expected him to work the goalkeeper at least. Here's Hoyt. Mullins. Benayoun. This is Spector. And this little ongoing battle between Spector and Van Persie is one that the referee has to somehow try and keep the lid on. Spector has already been shown a card for his part in what wasn't a pleasant challenge on Robin van Persie, and Van Persie is now getting surely a final warning.
Now, his temper can get the better of him, there's no doubt about that, but you know, he's got the advantage at the moment, Van Persie, in that his opponent is on the yellow. The last thing he wants is to be on a yellow card as well. He knows that Spector has got to be careful in the challenges, just needs to calm down.
Has to trust the referee to mete out the justice here. And Spector is already walking the tightrope after being booked. Etherington's kick. Now Gabidon. Zamora offside. Here's Gallas. Clichy. Hefty clash with Jonathan Spector, and the referee already has the card out of his pocket here for Gal Clichy.
Well, it looked an innocent clash of heads, Clichy going for the ball. Rob Stiles may be thinking that it was a little bit rash in the way that he went for it. He took a knock as well.
Well, any sympathy over the collision is not felt by Rob Stiles. He's going to produce a card for this.
I don't see really how that can be a yellow card. Both lads got eyes firmly fixed on the ball. There's no bad intent there from Clichy. I think he's very unlucky.
Well, it's adding insult to injury. The second yellow card of the season for Clichy, and Arsene Wenger bemused. It was such a heavy clash that Jonathan Spector is looking especially groggy.
I think he's seen stars. It looked for a moment there as if he was unconscious. I think he's going to be okay.
He'll await his doctor's verdict before deciding what to do, Alan Pardew. Here's Zamora. Well, he did well to shake off the crowd, and he's won a corner out of it.
Yeah, did a little nudge just to manoeuvre a bit of room, drag it down. You feel if the service is right to Bobby Zamora, we can have some joy. Has he just got a knock there? Pulled something?
Zamora feeling something just as Jonathan Spector returns to the field for this corner, which Etherington gets in. West Ham get the throw. Benayoun takes. Etherington. Laid off by Bowyer to Zamora. Mullins. Toure gets it away, but Konchesky's following in here. Good first touch. Can't find anyone with his cross. Mullins.
That's West Ham's best passage of play by far. That last couple of minutes, they kept it in that final third, and they've got good players in support. Asking a lot in the end for Mullins to trouble Jens Lehmann from that kind of angle.
Here's Toure. Now Gallas. Henry. Cabidon. Here's Bowyer. Looking for Zamora. Toure steered it to safety. Now Hleb. Fabregas. Rosicki. Hoyt. Clichy. Losing out to Benayoun. Benayoun trying to give the French fullback the runaround, but he's a pretty dogged customer. He never gives up.
He had nowhere to go, really. Benayoun knew he couldn't run away from his opponent.
Fabregas might be a touch lucky. Zamora felt he'd won it from him fairly and squarely. Henry. Tight to the touchline, but he's just about kept it in. It's a great run from Thierry Henry.
Yeah, he wants a bit more effort, a bit more spark from his players. Hoping that will not provide it. Twice now he's dropped into those left-sided positions and had a run at the defence. That's not good news. A good sight for West Ham. Just on the block from Henry's shot, maybe just tweak something.
And he's staying on to try and defend this corner. Injured though he is, Rosicky doesn't cause any problems as Zamora slices it away. Here's Justin Hoyt. Now Flair. Toure. Flair. Hoyt. Still Anton Ferdinand hobbling. And that is a worrying sight for West Ham. More pleased by this though, as Bowyer looks to get them going here. Rosicky. It's Clichy. Still labouring, isn't he, Ferdinand?
Sometimes you just go to close down the ball and catch it on the end of your toe or whatever, and it can tweak your knee ligaments.
Well, Ferdinand basically at the moment is a pass they can't make. He's having to defend from memory at the moment. Here's Flair.
They need to get that ball out of play, West Ham, don't they? Can't afford a half-fit centre-half in there.
Etherington. On by Bowyer. Here's Rosicky. Well, it's a real problem for West Ham, with Arsenal bearing down on them and carrying effectively a passenger in Anton Ferdinand. Henry leaves it behind. Well, surely Benayoun's got to put the ball out here, hasn't he? They're inviting trouble.
I don't think they're actually aware of it, you know. They've got the centre-half limping about, and they didn't know. That's why they didn't find touch.
Well, Robin van Persie has gone down, and I wonder here if something, well, surely not for the second day running. I'm afraid it looks as though something might have been thrown from the crowd. Well, after the Klaas Jensen incident yesterday, this is a worrying development. Rob Stiles is just overseeing exactly the aftermath of what's happened, and this is what happened as he went to take the throw-in. Something struck him on the back of the head.
Yeah, it's difficult to see what it was, but it's a very sorry sight to see something like that. The player can't go towards the touchline without fear of being struck.
Well, he's been subject of jeering from the crowd every time he's had the ball as a result of his early skirmishes with Jonathan Spector, but the police officer there has picked up something which is carrying away, which it appears is what struck Robin van Persie.
Well, so often these days with CCTV they can trace the perpetrator, but he started getting booed, Van Persie, after being fouled by Spector. He wasn't feigning injury, but crowds so often these days think that opponents are. There's so much diving going on. He fancies carrying on, doesn't he, Anton Ferdinand?
Well, as shocking as that incident was with Van Persie, The hiatus has actually helped Anton Ferdinand's recovery time and enabled him to come back on the field quicker. Here's Van Persie, and it's held by Robert Green. We understand it was a two-pence piece that was thrown and that struck Robin Van Persie on the back of the head. The jeering is fine, all part and parcel of the game, but missiles being thrown, an altogether different and more sinister aspect.
Well, of course, jeering is fine, but it's just the motivation, really. It wasn't as if he'd clattered into a player. Van Persie, he offended. Just got a whack in the eye now. Well, Clichy, the elbow of Zamora catching him.
Wasn't a flailing elbow as such from Zamora, but a pretty painful one nonetheless across the bridge of the nose for Clichy.
There have been a fair few old challenges down there so far, not for the faint-hearted. You don't want to see Gal Clichy leave the field of play, waited so long to have him back.
Rio Coca gives Arsenal the ball back. Here's Hoyt. Now Touré. It's Gabidon. Bowyer. Hayden Mullins. Looking for Zamora here. There's Van Persie, he's having to cover at left back with Clichy off. Now Spector. Use of the arm, unquestionably by Van Persie.
And now he's going to get a card, isn't it, this time? 1, 2, 3. Was it intentional or not? The arm's already out. Well, it's a handball, no doubt about that.
Well, Robin Van Persie has picked up a couple of red cards already in his Arsenal career. Should be able to move from that position of left back shortly. There's just a change of shirt now from Clichy, so that he can get rid of the blooded one. But he should be back on shortly. Etherington.
Haven't been able to get behind Arsenal, have they, down those flanks? Etherington did really well against Blackburn last week. To the byline a couple of times. Clichy back on
now for Clichy. No spare number 22. 49 he's wearing now. Gabidon. And a back from Gallas, which Bowie's picked up on. Rio Coca was there. Maybe hadn't expected the ball as early as Bowyer gave it to him.
Yeah, need a bit more of that. Lee Bowyer just gambling. Didn't know whether Zamora was going to win it or not.
Here's Zamora. Picked up by Rio Coca. It's Benayoun. And Rosicki brings it clear, and there's space to move into for the Arsenal midfielder. It's a good break as well. It's given Hleb plenty to do. Gabidon's gone across to cover him. Well, Fabregas was available, a more ambitious ball in, cleared by Bowyer. Hoyt. Fabregas. Back by Hleb. Fabregas in towards Henry. Spector just stole a march on him. Caught by the Arsenal man. Well, it looks as though Anton Ferdinand, despite his best efforts, is not going to be able to carry on here. George McCartney is coming on to take Ferdinand's place. He's injured his ankle with this block.
Yeah, I think it's just tweaked those ankle ligaments. Very painful when it happens. as the ball pushes back the foot. No way back from that kind of injury.
So George McCartney, who's had injury problems himself since joining from Sunderland, comes on having made his debut last week. Debut that was delayed by a knee injury. So McCartney slotting in alongside Gabidon. Spector.
Well, we get to half-time at 0-0. West Ham will be well pleased, I think. They've restricted Arsenal to very few chances. You look at Rosiski's shot, that was probably the best of them, but they certainly haven't been able to create the kind of chances they did against Moscow in the week, have they?
Guilty of missing the best one so far is the man who was guilty of missing the best against CSKA Moscow as well, Thomas Rosicky. 3 added minutes in the first half. Here's Henry. Now Gilberto. Toure. Clichy's got forward, but Spector can deal with that. Benayoun. Spector with the throw. Cleared by Toure, then by Rosicky. That's Henry. Kincheski. McCartney. Hoyt. Toure. McCartney. Now Clare. Fabregas lets it go.
You'd expect to see an improvement from Arsenal before this match is out, wouldn't you? They certainly haven't got into their full stride in the way that we've seen them this season. Much of the credit to that must go to West Ham, but I'm sure Arsene Wenger will be expecting better after the break.
Spector with the throw. Benayoun. Gabidon. Now McCartney. Mullins. Samora looking to break, but it's half-time. Costly first half for West Ham. We've lost Anton Ferdinand and through injury may face repercussions from a missile being thrown at Robin van Persie that struck him on the back of the head. From Arsenal's point of view, another tale of a good missed chance from Thomas Rosicky, which was the best of the half. West Ham 0, Arsenal 0.
We're at Upton Park, we're at White Hart Lane, Andy Chamey and myself, waiting to see Tottenham play Chelsea, and that comes up later at Upton Park, half-time. No goals. So far, so good for Alan Pardew. He changed his system today, and he's halfway towards a point.
But Fabregas here, maybe at 19 being rested, he's had a couple of big seasons, he's played almost every game, but you ask Cesc Fabregas what he'd rather be doing this afternoon, sitting in the stand having a rest, or out there playing. You know damn well where he'd like to be, and that's where he is. So I don't think there may be a time when I think managers get into January, February, you might look at a couple of your players that have had World Cups and played a lot of games, and say I might just drop him out for a week just to give him a little rest.
Or maybe even hope that in some of the home games they're 2 or 3 up, and then you can bring them off with 20 minutes to go. That's also another option. But as Andy says, Cesc Fabregas at 19, all you want to do is play football. That's all you want to do every single game.
And you think get momentum now, and if you're going to get tired, then make changes in the new year. But
listen,
at least be competing at that stage.
Champions League's going to bed in a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. The Champions League goes to bed for 2 or 3 months, right? The Premiership, they're playing catch-up already, Arsenal, so they need to keep getting results. I don't see any reason for Arsene Wenger, if his team are fit and in his eyes are fresh and look bright and they're creating as many chances as they did midweek, why would you change it?
And they haven't quite got the options either, Andy, that Chelsea have.
No, they've got Adebayor, who they might put up top alongside Henry. In midfield, Lundberg probably still injured as well. They don't have real good options there. At the back, you would keep your back four in place anyways. Ibui might come back in, he might not. But you'd imagine that would be the only change.
There's 2 that allegedly don't get on, but they appear to be today.
Looks quizzically. He's had the captain's word with him there.
Concentration for West Ham, I think, is a massive key, Richard. I really think they've got to keep following those midfield runners, and if they don't, they'll get beat.
OK, let's go back and rejoin our match commentators, the former Gunner striker Alan Smith and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, Arsenal so far have won all of their games off the back of Champions League matches in the group stage of that particular competition, but they're being held here by West Ham. Despite all of their good football and attacking potential, Arsenal, West Ham at the moment doing the job that they set out to do. And it will be they who get the second half underway.
There's not anybody, no manager in the world for me pays more attention to physical conditioning than Arsene Wenger, and he'd have had a close look at that, I'm sure. But when you look at the bench, with Senderos coming back from injury, Adebayor, Emmanuel Abue, you probably feel that none of those are fit enough to start. But if the pattern of this match carries on as it has from Arsenal's point of view, I wouldn't be surprised to see Adebayor come on to partner Henry, perhaps just changes the shape of their attacks.
Here's Henry. Well, Manchester United and Chelsea, as might have been expected, setting the pace in the Premiership. A victory for Arsenal will take them up into the top 3. And the other one of the so-called Big 4, Liverpool, are the next visitors to Arsenal. Here's Hleb. Thierry Henry guides the ball to Fabregas. Franceschi matched his stride. This is Zamora. And Toure thorough working over, and Toure recovers.
It's a thankless task at times, playing up front on your own, and you've got to do what Bobby Zamora just did there. If you can't win it, make a nuisance of yourself, get something, give time to teammates to support.
There was a time at the start of the season when no one else was scoring for West Ham except Bobby Zamora. Got 5 in the first 4 matches. But then they went on that horrible run where they couldn't buy a goal. Here's Hleb. Franceschi. Now Zamora, lovely touch from Mullins. Turn a little quick, this is Bowyer. Benayoun. Bowyer. Dallas went to meet him and won the ball. Here's Hleb. Henry. Bowyer feeling hard done by. He felt that he should have had a penalty for that challenge in the area.
I think Rob Stiles would have been looking for that ball to pop off in the direction that Bowyer was running to indicate that he had got a touch, and he didn't quite do that, the ball. And Gallas came in.
Here's Gabidon. Clearance by Clichy. Fabregas. Gabidon. Mullins, now Benayoun. Bowyer set up on a serve through the middle again. Rio Coker. Clichy holding him up.
Just wanted Jonathan Spector on the overlap, didn't he, Coker? Rio Coker.
Here's Benayoun. Some more have gone the other way, and Gallas gets it away. This is Hleb. He's got through plenty of work today, Bobby Zamora. Hoyt, Fabregas, now Gallas, here's Van Persie, Gilberto, Hoyt, now Hleb. Here's Mullins. Bowyer. Mullins. Gabidon to Spector. Away by Clichy. Now Rosicki. Gilberto finding Hleb.
Just that final pass, isn't it, that they rely on so heavily, Arsenal, at times when they're trying to thread balls through the middle. Not quite on at the moment. West Ham keeping nice and tight still. And if they were only to get a draw, a point out of this, it's another building block, isn't it, towards regaining their confidence, never mind about the point that goes towards helping them out of that bottom three.
Well, Lee Bowyer's had plenty to say for himself about what he felt was a decision that went against him when he felt he should have had a penalty for William Gallas's challenge, but he's not going to change anything now, no matter how long he discusses it with Rob Styles. Van Persie. Well, he's penalised for pulling back at Gabidon.
It wasn't a difficult one to spot that by Rob Styles, but this is the reason that Lee Bowyer's a little upset. And that was the foul from Van Persie, but Bowyer gets there under challenge. He certainly gets his boot there first, but I don't think William Gallas does enough there to warrant a penalty. He just really stands his ground.
Seven Premiership games unbeaten now for Arsenal. Too many draws at home for their liking. Gilberto. Van Persie. Now Henry. Got away from Gabidon. It was McCartney who in the end closed him down.
And that's great defending from McCartney. Had to make that block.
Lovely touch from Fabregas, and Rio Coker takes it away from Rosicki. Rio Coker. Here's McCartney, who's only on because Anton Ferdinand went off with a twisted ankle in the first half. One that shouldn't cause too much long-term concern, we understand. Toure concerned enough about Etherington here to concede the corner.
I just sense that some of those Arsenal players are feeling the effects, don't you, midweek in the Champions League against Moscow. Not quite at the peak of the game.
Well, then it's cleared by Kleb. Gilberto's header, Henry. And stretching, couldn't get it, and Clichy can break, and 4 players have broken ahead of him. 3 over to his right, Fabregas one of them.
He just got away from him, Fabregas. Had Van Persie to his left.
Clichy. Foul by Mullins.
I think those two are agreeing, but the referee at times has been a little bit picky, you know. He's got the foul, Arsene Wenger. Looked pretty innocuous.
Henry's kick. Just caught Gallas off guard.
Just behind him, he'd made a good run from deep and he was unmarked, William Gallas. If his captain could have picked him out. You see he comes from deep, nobody's picking him up, but the cross not quite accurate enough.
Towards Bowyer. Here's Konchesky. Gabidon. Rosicki. Van Persie, Fabregas has made the break. Good challenge by Rosicki, but Mullins has picked up the pieces for West Ham. Konchesky. Etherington. Mullins. Toure has to hold off Etherington. He's strong in that situation.
He does so well in those circumstances, Colo Toure. That's twice now where he's skipped across and stayed strong.
Here's Hoyt.
To and fro, isn't it? Hasn't really found any pattern to it, the game. You have it, we'll have it.
And now Rio Coker has looked to find Bowyer, but he was offside. Well, Arsenal keep it moving. Fabregas. Rosicki. Van Persie. Trying to get the better of Spectre. Gabidon away. Bowyer is a risky ball. He's found Konchesky.
Just got a little bit more of an open feel to it now, this match.
Here's Rio Coker. Got past Toure to Zamora. Gallas holding him up, and this is where he needs support. Help arrives in the form of Etherington. Zamora again, still nobody in the box. Bowyer's looking to get there now. Zamora. It's a waste.
Well, you're right. It did take quite a long time for any West Ham player to get in the box and offer Bobby Zamora a target. I think when he finally looked up Zamora, he didn't think there was anything worth aiming at, so had a pot.
Well, Arsenal haven't been their usual fluid selves so far. Part of it maybe down to midweek Champions League commitments, but also credit to West Ham.
Yeah, I think Alan Pardew will just see signs of that resilience returning, that team spirit that saw them do so well last season. Did them a world of good if they can take anything from this match, that's for sure.
Rosicki, Van Persie. Franceschi really lost out to Henry, but McCartney's done a good shackling job on Henry since he came on. Van Persie with a corner. Henry's headed down and away from goal. Thierry Henry got a hat-trick the last time Arsenal beat West Ham. That was back at Highbury in January 2003.
Now he's going to have a new strike partner, I think. Adebayor, he's stripping off. Gives them that little bit more of an aerial threat.
Adebayor is only just back after injury. Ryo-Coca, Boya, Fabregas. Gilberto couldn't get it around Mullins. Van Persie's there. Here's Etherington. Boya. Mullins. Fabregas. Konchesky, now Etherington. Driven against Hoyt. And here's the time for change for Arsenal. Robin Van Persie, who's on a yellow card, is asking the question why he's the man being replaced. Not sure Arsene Wenger will feel he necessarily owes him an explanation.
Well, you can see the thinking behind it from Arsene Wenger. He looked a little bit weary as well. Has been on a yellow card, Van Persie. It just changes things, doesn't it? He's done well, Adebayor, this season for me. Settling into his new role.
Well, Adebayor all smiles as he came on, but from Van Persie's point of view, the needs of the team having to take precedence over the wants of the individual, and Arsene Wenger always has Arsenal's interests at the forefront of his mind. Here's Rosicki. Adebayor. Rosicki. Fabregas. Gilberto. Things have worked for West Ham in terms of containing Arsenal, but are they going to get a bit bolder here themselves? Sheringham and Harewood both coming on.
It might just be sensing Alan Pardew that this is the match. Not only can we draw, but we can go ahead and win. Sensing that Arsenal aren't at the best, looking a little bit leggy. Why not go for it? He's got his socks off some more, hasn't he?
Lee Bowyer's the other man to make way apart from Bobby Zamora. And here comes Teddy Sheringham, the Premiership's first ever 40-year-old goal scorer against Blackburn a week ago. Sure, he was agitated when he found that he was only on the bench. Well, now he's got plenty of time to prove to Alan Pardew that he was wrong to leave him there for so long.
He was happy last week scoring, he'll be even happier today, I would imagine, against the old enemy.
Ball played across towards Sheringham, and he's got the chance from Clichy here. He's pulled it back for Mullins. It's an easy pick-up for Lehmann, but Sheringham in setting that up, having an immediate effect. And it's livened up at both ends now, as the ball isn't fed through to Adebayor as he wanted and expected. Etherington. Which way will the balance be tipped by those changes made by the two managers?
Two ways won most of those races, but he's up against Harewood now. Won't be as quick.
Etherington. Konchesky's made a run inside. Fabregas blocks the cross. Etherington. Gilberto. Gallas. Henry. Now Rosicki. Adebayor's offside.
Today's attendance on 34,969.
Look at that, even Stevens. Only attempts. West Ham just edging it, but it has been a fairly even game, really, this. In the second half, particularly.
Point pursued out there by Harewood. Now McCartney. Gavidon. Gilberto. Now Spector. Tackled by Thomas Rosicki. Spector's throw. Clichy away. Here's Adebayor. Benayoun, nice touch to Spector. Gallas away. Fabregas. Here's Hleb. It's Adebayor. Gavidon holding him up. And Rosicki offering help. Fabregas.
Another example of good defending by West Ham. Gavidon just stood his ground. Forced Adebayor into a shot.
Point. Fabregas. Gilberto. Hleb, is he going to have a crack? Tries to link up with Henry. It's a good link up as well. No penalty.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. He was stretching all the time for that, Jonathan Spector. Did he get any of the ball? Did he get some of the man for once the 1-2 comes off? It's got to be a penalty, hasn't it? It's got to be a penalty. He's whacked his right leg. Cannot believe that Rob Stiles has not pointed to the spot. As clear as they come for me.
Well, Spector can count himself very lucky indeed. On a yellow card already from a first half challenge on Van Persie. And Arsene Wenger, I'm sure, can barely believe that they haven't had that award. There's been plenty of dialogue, hasn't there, between the two managers. Alan Pardew said that Arsene Wenger was very helpful to him when he was setting out as a manager at Reading. He did have a bit of a misunderstanding last year over comments made by Pardew, interpreted as criticising Arsenal's non-English playing policy. But Pardew says they were misunderstood. He hopes that that's now been sorted out. Incidentally, 7 Englishmen out there for West Ham and 1 for Arsenal. Here's Harewood. And Sheringham arrived. And Clichy blocked it.
Oh, and what a block it was. What a block, and Sheringham recognises it, because that was a stick-on goal. Sheringham, well, he was just about to wheel away in celebration. Brilliant work by the Frenchman.
Well, he saw the glory again then for the second week running, Teddy Sheringham. And it was Clichy's intervention that denied him. But he's prowling at the far post here. He's gone in to disturb the goalkeeper, and in doing so he's given away a free kick, and Lehmann is not one to shirk a confrontation, although he sees sense.
Thierry Henry saw what was coming there and just armed off his keeper. A little barge, that was all it was. Was a foul, I think. He wants a word, but the captain does his job.
Henry, ever the diplomat. McCartney trusted his goalkeeper, and Fabregas, I think it was one he had to go for. Even Green seems to acknowledge that. "20 minutes to go, nothing conceded by Robert Green. Let in 4 on each occasion he played Arsenal in his Norwich days. Henry scoring a hat-trick in one of them. Fabregas has won it for Rosicky. Here's Henry. Pass deflected. Now Etherington. Here's Spector. Benayoun. Spector again. Well, can Spurs finally end their dreadful Premiership record against Chelsea? You'll find out live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1 from 3:30. Arsenal get the win that would take them into the top 3. Emmanuel Eboué's return from injury is coming a few days earlier than expected. Just thought he might make his comeback in the Carling Cup in midweek against Everton, but here he is returning to the Premiership, taking the place of Alexander Hleb. Eboué has missed 5 with a medial ligament problem.
Looks like he's going to do a job in midfield, Eboué. We know how good he is at bombing down that flank. Such a strong player.
Gabidon. Mullins. Touré. Gallas. Here's Eboué. Fabregas. Kincheski. Etherington. It's Sheringham's touch. Rio Coca. Gilberto cut it out.
You just sense it's the kind of match that one goal will win it. Again, a few chances, and one of these sides can take one of those openings. Might just be enough.
Well, Teddy Sheringham has helped to steer West Ham to revival. And he's playing his part again here. Could he be the man to win the day for them?
Yeah, he has made a difference already. And Teddy Sheringham adds that little bit more guile to their attacks.
Harewood. Now Sheringham. Etherington. Rosicky looking for Adebayor. Towering header back for Thierry Henry.
It wasn't a bad effort. Wasn't many chances. Sights of goal, Thierry Henry this afternoon.
Konchesky. Benayoun, Rio Coca, blocked off by Touré. And Gallas left to deal with it.
Make a good partnership, that pair, don't they? Touré and Gallas come together now. With Clichy coming into the side, Gallas can move in his preferred position, and they're gelling well.
Here's Clichy. Now Touré. Adebayor. Clichy struck that one against Benayoun, which gave the Israeli the scent of an opportunity then. Hoyt rescues the kick. Now Gilberto. Henry. Rosicki. Henry again. Konchesky away. Fabregas. Eboué. Guiding header away by McCartney is a good one. Here's Sheringham. Benayoun. Sheringham. Intelligent ball to Harewood. Spectre. Sheringham looking to get underneath the cross. Little nudge. Free kick.
I think he's just stood his ground at the far post. He knew Justin Hoyt was backtracking. It's a glorious little flick though, wasn't it? Just overhit into Harewood's path that just delayed that move.
Well, Justin Hoyt is going off, and Matteo Flamini, who had a spell covering at left-back, even though he wasn't particularly comfortable in that role, comes on. So Emmanuel Eboué, who'd previously come on the right side of midfield, now switches to the right-back area, but it has been his more familiar territory in the Arsenal first team. It's back by Gabidon. Benayoun's touch. Sheringham on, and he's away! It's Marlon Harewood! Lehmann's done enough, and Touré clears from behind him. What a chance!
Well, it was. Just talking about that partnership between Gallas and Touré, and it was one of them that slipped. It was William Gallas that lost his footing to let in Harewood.
Here's Benayoun. Rosicki's got it away. And Spectre's backpedaling here against Fabregas. Goes in with the challenge. He's got to be careful, Spectre. He's on a yellow card, but he won that. Here's Sheringham. Now Etherington. Mullins steps away from Gilberto. Good play. Sheringham. Touré away. Konchesky. Rio Coca. Benayoun. Spectre going for it, but Clichy covered the run. Now Rosicki. Adebayor and Henry up ahead of him. It's a good ball though to Flamini. Here's Eboué. Gilberto. Rosicki's flick. Adebayor. Konchesky clears. Gilberto. Henry has roamed out wide. Henry straight over to keep that in. Gilberto. Toure lining up a cracking drive. Well, on the other side, I think they thought that had gone in.
I think he did, you know. It was a glorious hit. Another man not known for his goals, but he sees a bit of space ahead. The ball's bouncing nicely. I'm not sure Robert Green would have had this one covered. It was a yard to the left. Can't believe it.
Here's Rosicki. Rio Coca. Sheringham. Now Spector. Sheringham. Spector. Benayoun. Skip past Clichy, but Gallas is covering just behind. The last 10 minutes approaches. Is there to be a rousing finale here?
Well, defenses have been on top so far. The strikers, both sides, look that bit of zip, cutting edge.
Spector's ball in. It was Rosicki who gave away the free kick. Backed in.
Well, I think it's the fact that it was the flailing arm that Rob Stars doesn't like. Good chance now for West Ham with Sheringham, with Harewood. Well, Etherington just swing this one in towards goal and hope for deflection.
Who fancies it? You can bet Sheringham does. It's Etherington who hits it. It's a corner of Henry's head.
Yeah, I think that was the general idea. Just put a whip on it. See what becomes. Deflection and you might be in. Oh, he's got to be happy, I think, with the way his team have played today. Particularly this second half.
Well, they're finishing strongly. Benayoun's corner wins another off Flamini. Held back by McCartney. Sheringham is in the crowd with Mullins.
Seem to get in each other's way, those two at the far post.
Here's Fabregas.
It's going to be a yellow card, isn't it? Got to be.
Stopped Fabregas from breaking, so he may consider it a yellow card worth having. This is first of the season. Toure. Down the middle looking for Adebayor. Cleared by Konchesky. Flamini. Run back by Rio Coca. Konchesky. Etherington's touch. Sheringham looks to send Etherington away again. Harewood's made a burst through the middle. Toure, as he's done so well, defending strongly. Here's Gilberto.
Well, both sides have conceded chances and ridden the luck at times, but you have to say that the two sets of defences have done the job today against attackers that haven't been quite at it. Maybe now.
Henry. Well, he pulled it behind everybody, including Flamini. Here's Aboué. Fabregas. Aboué goes for the return. And it's Adebayor's shot that's wide.
Just behind Adebayor, that one. Difficult to dig out. Well, Marlon Harewood hadn't been on the pitch too long when he latched onto this flick from Sheringham. See Gallas lose his feet. He's got plenty of time to think about it. He goes for power, probably the right decision from that kind of angle. Just needed it across goal a little bit more. Gets his little bit of luck, Lehman. Sometimes those kind of shots just shoot between your legs.
Arsenal heading for their second 0-0 draw running. Not as many chances today as they managed in the Champions League in the midweek. But they are paying the price at the moment for their exertions in that game against CSKA Moscow. Here's Rosicki. Aboué first time. It's a vital save that from Green. Henry was just approaching behind. Here's Spector. Benayoun. Sheringham. Konchesky. Rio Coca. Etherington. Harewood. Adebayor's won it with Benayoun. Fabregas. Adebayor. Gabidon had to get the timing of the challenge right, and it was spot on.
Yeah, brilliant defending. It would have been better served Adebayor to duck inside. He had Henry to his left waiting.
There's Harewood. Benayoun the option on his right. Clichy galloping across, forcing the decision to hurry the cross. Here's Henry. Just out wide, it was Spector who made the challenge. Spector now trying to hold up Fabregas. This is Rosicki. Henry. Fired it out by Benayoun and Rio Coca, who emerges with it. Tries to put Gallas under pressure here from Harewood. And here's Aboué. Gilberto. Clichy. Suddenly seemed to open up for him until Danny Gabidon got across. Harewood with a little flick. Now Gilberto. Fabregas. Looking for Adebayor, is offside.
Just, I think. Just. Just holding. A very tight one. Couple of inches in it. Now we're going to see a goal this afternoon. Down between these two teams, you'd have banked on it at the start.
West Ham, the only team in the Premiership not to have kept a clean sheet this season. They are now less than 3 minutes plus stoppage time away from securing their first. Here's Spector. Hayden Mullins. Sheringham. Benayoun aiming for Harewood.
Oh, that's a good trick, isn't it? If he can manage it off the corner flag.
Here's Konchesky. Etherington, he's won his tussle with Flamini. Sheringham. Etherington again. Harewood! Upton Park explodes with joy. The final 2 minutes, and a week after beating Blackburn, Arsenal on the rack here, and West Ham on their way
delighted with the point, you know, but 3, well, how'd you like it? And he's got Matthew Etherington thank for his goal. Absolute brilliant play by the winger, fighting qualities, swaps passes with Sheringham. No surprise that the old centre forward puts it on the plate. And, well, that's on the plate for Harewood. He wasn't about to turn that one up after that missed opportunity earlier. There you go, how'd you like him? 6 yards out. He's not going to miss it, Harewood. No chance for Lehman from that angle.
There's been an almighty altercation here between the two managers. Just look at this. So-called friends, but the emotions really have got the better of them here, and they've had to be separated from each other.
Oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing there. I don't know what's gone on down by the dugout. Very unlike both managers, particularly Arsene Wenger, but most to the point, Marlon Harewood has made the vital contribution in this match.
Well, Marlon Harewood, the substitute, has had some of the edge taken off his goal-scoring celebration by the fact he was booked for it. A yellow card, but even though it takes him to the brink of a suspension, not one he'll mind too much if it proves to be the winning goal. Well, things thankfully have cooled down between those two now, but Arsene Wenger, very unlike him to get involved in such antagonism with an opposing manager. With 3 minutes added on here. And Andy D'Urso is having to be an unofficial referee himself. Another chance for Harewood. Marlon Harewood again. Can't steer this one home.
No, it's burst into life, hasn't it? After long periods of non-activity. What on earth has gone on there between those two? What on earth? Been a really frustrating afternoon for Arsene Wenger. He's seen his team, well, just not quite find the kind of form that we've been used to seeing. And then there's the penalty, a clear-cut penalty that his team have been denied.
Here's Mullins. Run back by Fabregas. Henry. Rosicki strikes it, and that one's blocked. Mullins. Well, there was some ill feeling between Alan Pardew and Arsene Wenger over Pardew's comments on the Arsenal team when they were heading to the Champions League final without too much English representation. Wenger at the time hit back by saying the comments bordered on the racist. But we were led to believe that despite the fact they hadn't spoken since then, no harm had been done to their relationship.
Well, he's just taken a turn for the worse, Rob, to be fair. And both will probably look back, though, and feel a little bit embarrassed by their actions on that touchline.
Headed back by Toure. He's got to try and keep his cool now. He's on the brink of yet another win against Arsenal. He's never lost to them as West Ham manager. Headed back by Gavida.
It's one thing to get that win against Blackburn last week, but to go on and get a second one on the trot and to get it against a team of the quality of Arsenal might just turn their season around.
Well, he wants the whistle to be blown now. There's still 30 seconds or so left of the stoppage time indicated, but West Ham on the brink of their best result of the season. Surely they've done enough now. Etherington with the throw. It's just a question of holding it up now for Harewood. He couldn't do that, but Arsenal may well find that time is against them already. The referee's checked his watch a couple of times already. Fabregas. West Ham have done it again. They've won for the second week running, and Arsene Wenger refuses the handshake. Alan Pardew went towards him, and Arsene Wenger keeps his arms folded after a quite explosive finish to this match. Marlon Harewood, who scored the winning goal 2 minutes from time, is also involved in an angry confrontation, it seems, with Cesc Fabregas. Feelings really pouring out here on an emotional afternoon at Upton Park. Fabregas and Arsenal furious that they weren't awarded what they felt was a certain penalty, but that wasn't West Ham's concern. They got the winning goal through Harewood latching onto an Etherington cross and driving it home. An unusual display of emotion from Arsene Wenger, who reacted angrily to Alan Pardew's celebrations of that goal. There was squaring up between the managers. There's still squaring up between the players now as they leave the field. And William Gallas and the Arsenal players can barely believe it. It's a draw that's got away from them. It's been snatched away from them with that late winner. A really dramatic conclusion here. West Ham have beaten Arsenal by a solitary goal to nil.
Quite extraordinary. It's not what we've come to expect from either Arsene Wenger or his team, in fairness. But unsavoury celebrations, I think Wenger felt from Alan Pardew, and he reacted to it. But the most important thing from West Ham's point of view is that for the second time in a week, they have won. 6 points out of the 6 available, and look where they are now. What a difference 7 days makes, up into 15th. And it's Sheffield United who slipped back into the drop zone. Watford and Middlesbrough both down a place, and the Hammers really on the move now. And at the top, that leaves Arsenal in 5th and 10 points back on the leaders, Manchester United. We'll be with them next week at the Emirates when they play Liverpool, 2 teams who were adrift in the title race and did not expect to be at this stage of the season.